we must be considered to be the only one who does what we do. What I have found with the joyous opportunities that I have to work with women executives and women entrepreneurs is that for many of us, our strength is that we think if we do good, we'll do well. In other words, if we're good at what we do, we'll get the jobs, we'll get the clients. No. Guess what? It's a competition out there. There's a lot of people who do good. There's a lot of people who have great credentials. There's a lot of people who have great startups. Just because we're good at what we do does not mean the one that will be selected. It is our responsibility over on the right to be one of a kind instead of one of many. In the middle is one of many, where we're doing good, but we're not getting the clients or the success or the business we deserve, and here's how to be one of a kind. As many of you know, I'm lucky enough to have two sons, Andrew Horn, who is helping to run the business, and Tom Horn. Now, both boys were raised in Maui, and we would go for walk and rolls at night. I would walk, and they would ride their skateboards or their big wheels or their bikes or whatever. We would pluck a plumeria, and we would put it on our pillow at night. And we lived in the lee of Haleakala, so it was beautiful almost every night of the year. One night, we're walking along, and I said to Tom, who was 8, I said, Tom, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to be? And he pointed to the sky, and he said, something to do with up there. Well, Tom was a physics, aerospace engineering, astronomy, and math major at Virginia Tech. Suffice it to say, I did not help him with his homework. 2 weeks before Tom graduated, on the job board was a message from Mission Control at Houston's Johnson Space Center from working with NASA. So Tom applied, and he sent me his resume and his application. And I said, Tom, it's brilliant except for one thing. And he said, what? I said, Tom, you forgot to mention that you and your collegiate team won the international competition for putting a manned mission on Mars. Guess what Tom said? But Mom, that would be bragging. Oh! Our strength taken to an extreme is our Achilles heel. Were we taught not to brag and not to boast? And does that mean that our resume looks like everybody else? Does that mean that our application looks like everybody else? What is one thing you can claim no one else can? What is an achievement you have that will help your resume pop out of the stack? What is some activity that no one else does so that it gives them a hook on which to hang a conversation and they have incentive to bring you in because you don't look like everybody else? Because Tom took responsibility for putting down one thing on his application that made him one of a kind instead of one of many. I said, Tom, they're going to get hundreds or thousands of applications, and they all have 4-point GPAs. They all have curriculum. They all look alike. How can they choose? You put that down, you have just given them a reason to give you an interview.